Hey there, Regina Andler here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Do you have a ton of content? You know, that boatload of content that you keep creating and you keep putting it out and you keep creating new stuff over and over and trying to find new topics and new things to chat about and all that kind of stuff. And you find that you're not really getting a lot of interaction, or you're spending so much time creating all of this stuff that you have no time for anything else. Well, I'm here to tell you, stop creating all this new content if you have a whole bunch of content you've already created, because what I want to talk about today is the power of repurposing your existing content. So you have all of this content out there. It might be in the form of lead magnets. It might be in the form of Facebook posts, social media posts, LinkedIn posts, articles, blogs, whatever it is. Excuse me. Whatever it is that you might be creating. You've got all this stuff out there, and it's been out there for a while. Excuse me. And what I'm suggesting to you is that you take that existing content and you begin to repurpose some of the content you have out there. So maybe you've written an article, maybe you've written a blog. You could take little sound bites from there. Articles are usually more in depth and give a whole bunch of information. Taking little snippets out of that and turning them into social media posts is a great way to repurpose that content and get more eyeballs on it. So when you think about all the stuff that you've created, sit down and just look at the masses. If you've seen all the stuff that's out there, what do you have out there that you can start pulling from? Have you ever been on a podcast before? Somebody else's podcast that you've talked about your business? If you don't already have it, ask the podcast host if you can have a copy of the final podcast so that you can then take snippets of that. You can create reels for Facebook. You can create reels for Instagram. You can create all kinds of different things. You can just pull out little pieces of it that you can continue to share over and over and over again. Now, there's the other thought of the content that might not be quite hitting home, right? So you've created a bunch of content, and maybe it's on your business page, and you go out to you're in Facebook and you're on Facebook Meta, and you're looking at the analytics, and you get maybe one like on something. You're like, man, I spent a ton of time creating this content. It was this big long story post, and I put so much effort into it, and one person clicked on it and liked it. Maybe you need to break it up. Maybe you need to make it a little bit more manageable in little smaller sound bites for people to visit and chew, right? So those little bites for them to chew. Some of the story posts out there are great. They've got a ton of information. They've got tips, they've got tricks, they've got all kinds of things that are in there. And think about you and your viewing habits out on social media. When you see all this stuff, are you going, I don't have time to read all this? Now, there's other people who go, wow, I love that. I love reading those stories. So what you want to think about is, if you're creating this content, you're creating like long story posts and that kind of thing, and maybe they're getting 1 or 2 likes, then take some of the information out of that story post and create a smaller little sound bite that goes along with it for those folks who don't like reading the full stories out there. Mix it up. Use what you already have. There's no need to create new content constantly if you already have stuff out there. Be consistent. Now, I'm not sure if you actually noticed, but on Tips and Tricks Tuesday, I come up with a topic every week. That topic then goes into a LinkedIn article that goes out on Thursday. That LinkedIn article also is summarized into an email that goes out to my email group. It's repurposing data. It's repurposing my content. So what do you have out there that you can easily, quickly, without a lot of effort, just repost? Start repurposing your content, your existing content. It will save you a boatload of time, and if done correctly, it will get more eyeballs on that content. And what I mean by done correctly is that pay attention to those analytics. See who is liking your content. If you're not getting a lot of likes, a lot of shares, a lot of information back, a lot of comments on your content that you're posting out, then think about not rewriting and coming up with a new topic. Just change it up a bit. Identify what it is. Maybe it's the audience aren't the people who want to read the big long story. Great, you have a ton of content in there. Take out little snippets and post those instead and get more interaction. So repurposing data is what it is all about, especially if you have any lead magnets. If you have a lead magnet out there, a consumer awareness guide, even checklists and templates, even little bits of them can be used and repurposed to get more eyeballs on your content and get more people to start interacting with you. So think about what it is that you have out there and start repurposing and save yourself a boatload of time and make your life so much easier. That's what I've got for you today. We'll see you next time on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Oh, one more thing. Before I get off here. Almost forgot. We have a masterclass going on this week. If you look in the bottom, it's scrolling. We have a masterclass going on how to easily attract new clients without spending a dime. And guess what? On Friday of this week, we're going to actually be talking in depth about repurposing content, specifically content from lead magnets. So if you aren't already in the class, come over and join us. Friday, we're going to go into a lot more detail about repurposing your content. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.